welcome to CI News. I'm Madhuri, your host for the broadcast and a conference producer at CI News. This is a recorded session and will be available on our website cinews.co.in and our CI News LinkedIn handle. This is an exclusive fireside chat powered by Avaya on transformation through customer experience. Businesses are built by the experience they provide, and every day, millions of those experiences are delivered by Avaya. Avaya is shaping what's next for the future of work with innovation and partnership that delivers game-changing business benefits. Let's dive in and let me introduce my guest for today, Mr. Aneet Chaku, Head of Customer Service and Executive Committee Member, APMEA Region at Apollo Tyres Limited. He has 24 years of cross-industry work experience, which entails sectors like manufacturing and product, telecom, and hospitality. He has experience leading varied assignments across functions, ranging from delivering greenfield projects, managing operations, leading change initiatives, P&L responsibilities, and strategies. His current assignment as a head of customer service for Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa region, and as an executive committee member with Apollo Tyres, is a journey of transforming the function of customer and technical service into a business differentiator. He has worked across business segments and industries and has successfully managed not only to thrive and deliver, but also to bring unique multi-industry perspective to the business. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, Mr. Chaku.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madhuri. Thank you for your kind words. I don't know how much I merit that, but thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity to get to talk to all of you.
So, along with me, we also have Mr. Saurabh Lakhanpal. He's a domain specialist across Avaya's customer experience solutions and also a moderator for today's session. He's an avid customer experience advocate and has 12 years of experience in providing contact center and workforce optimization solutions. He has worked in roles like pre-sales, solution consulting, and sales specialist across leading global organizations. Welcome, Saurabh.
Thank you, Madhuri. And welcome, Mr. Aneet, to the
Hi,
session.
Saurabh.
And
Thank you.
thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. So let's dive right into the questionnaire that we have for the session. And the first question is, how are you managing your customer experiences? And for you, your customers would be not the end consumers who are utilizing the product, but your distributor network as well, or other supply chain people as well who are your customers. So how are you managing your customer experience across all these segments?
So you're right. I mean, to a large extent, we have customers at two levels because quite apart from how FMCG handles, they have a distribution and distributors have retailers further on. We have a very, very strong relationship with our dealer network. There are dealers who, or I mean, we call the business partners, and now you'll be amazed to know that our business partners, the third generation of business partners, have continued to work with us. They worked with us for last um, 30, 40 years. The grandfather started their business along with the chairman of the company, Mr. Kanwar. And then subsequent generations have taken it over. It's just that every generation has added a lot more value, become a lot more savvy, a lot more digital. And then, of course, you have the end consumer. And the tragedy at the end consumer end is that it's such a product category, such a that nobody knows what cars are, what tires are on their cars. So if you were to ask random 10 people, my guess would be one person would know
Definitely.
what tires are there on their vehicles, including myself. Before I joined the company, I really wasn't, unless the tire had a puncture or gave me some trouble. So we work to a large extent at both these levels. It's important for us to ensure that our dealer network understands the product. It's a highly technical product and much abused. So it's not something that can be mollycoddled purely because uh, it relies on the SIL principle, speed, inflation, and load. And then, of course, the quality of fruits. And we know the quality of fruits post monsoon, what happens in our country. So we get a lot of. So it's important for our customers, the end consumers, to understand which is the right tire to fit. I think that's where the journey starts. So that we call it application to fit, so that the customer fits the right tire for the right application for the right road. That is critical. So it's extremely important for us to have a very highly educated, technically trained dealer network, uh, who further on ensures that the customer does the right application to fit, and therefore customer gets the right value of the product that he's paid for. So that is something that we largely do. So training of our dealers, monitoring their complaint ratios, making sure that we get them to our learning centers and talk to them about what is new happening in terms of our new product development, how are we improving our product so that they can communicate the same to our customers. We continue to do customer value management where we look at the price and value linkages, and that is something that we keep tweaking every now and then. And additionally, what we have done lately also is the fact that we introduce a lot of digital products platforms where the dealers can interact with us. The speed of interaction and the turnaround time of a customer request or a complaint crashes dramatically. So that's a journey we started about 2 years back. I wouldn't say we've achieved excellence there, but of course, slowly and steadily we are going down that road. For our end consumers, we have a call center. That's something that we have introduced. We also have digital applications for them so that they are able to log in their complaints. We're available on the digital social media, so we proactively get in touch with our customers there as well. And and as I said, this is a category where customers only realize that there's a product called tires and they have a complaint. So our intent is to make sure that our warranty policies are robust, and then we are able to execute those warranty policies which favor customers to a great extent, uh, and also ensure that there is ease and quality when we do complaint management. So that's largely what we try and do on the customer experience piece.
All right. And, my next question was around digital channels only, but, you have already answered that you are utilizing digital channels. And I think, the future is around digital channels only, along with, the face to face and the voice channels. I think digital is what will be the next technological term, which will be, very popular. But looking at customer experience again, what are the criterias that you think are important from a customer experience perspective? Basically, how is it that you measure your CX in the environment? And if you want to throw some light on that.
Fundamentally, I think from a traditional standpoint, no, where every customer service was limited to just about management of complaints and the speed with which you were able to manage those complaints. So that's one criterion. But given the category that we are in, it's important that the product portfolio that we have, it remains competitive in the marketplace. So customers see value for the price that they pay. So to a large extent, for me, the customer experience matters a lot. For example, if you bought a tire for 100 rupees, I would like you to make sure that you get the value out of that to the extent of about 150. So what we do to a large extent is we work very, very closely with our fleet operators. We work very, very closely with even single and multiple vehicle owners across categories. This just doesn't limit itself to commercial vehicles, but passenger car, the fleets, two-wheeler, three-wheelers, and all of those. So where we try and understand how are our products doing. So we measure the product performance in terms of mileage, in terms of durability, in terms of complaints, all of that. And then we also map gap along with competition and feed that data point into R&D such that we continuously keep improving our product. And also, should there be a requirement for a new product, those inputs, that voice of the customer, the voice of the market, the voice of the fleet owner, voice of the dealer goes back to our R&D and marketing teams. So to a large extent, we are very much focused on product performance. We are very much focused on how good our product is because we are in that category and it's basic hygiene that the customer expects. And if you see, regulations have changed. You we had a couple of regulations last year. BS6 was one such regulation. Excel load norms were changed. That was another regulation. You have electric vehicles coming. That's another challenge. Tubeless is another challenge. So how do we ensure that get that given these technology changes or regulatory changes that are happening, how are our products contemporary? How are we able to address the market needs? So how do we understand the customer needs? How do we understand the market needs? How do we collate that and feed that back into R&D? Because in the tire industry, it's the customer service teams which are who are technically qualified and face the customer to a large extent. Our R&D teams, don't get a chance to meet so many customers as we do. So that's one piece, the whole product performance piece, product establishment piece. In terms, once we launch a product, then what we do is we get in touch with market influencers, talk to them about these products, showcase the goodness of that product, and generate testimonials. So that's another metric of a customer experience. Because if the influencer in the market confirms that yes, this new product of Apollo tires is good, then the rest of the market follows suit. Then of course is the whole deal around how do we manage inquiry requests or complaints. Then, of course, how are our technical skills of our technicians at our dealer counters, at our branded retail outlets? What sort of machines do we have at branded retail outlets? What is the uptime of those machines? Some of those things is how we measure customer experience.
Right. And Mr. Aneet, since you come from a technology background, right, and it's if I talk about newer technologies, right, like AI, analytics, do you think these kind of technologies also, play a part in improving the customer experience or, analyzing that customer journey for your customers?
I think eventually we'll have to go towards that. I do not see because as the market expands, uh, the demands of the customer will of course increase. Our ability to turn around, I think it's the dimension of time. Everybody has 365 days a year in a financial year. Some do stupendous performances, some don't. So within those 365 days or within that dimension of time, how well are we able to execute? And if AI and ML can help uh, crash that dimension of time, then nothing like it. So the race is about how do we manage dimension of time. So as we go forward, although right now this industry is extremely nascent, and whatever these new technology solutions will come in the form of smart factories. Uh, it will first start with the factories. It can first start with OEs before it gets to the business side of or the commercial or the market facing side of the business. So especially I'm talking of technologies like AI, but it will form an important backbone as we move forward. Currently, for example, I have a team which inspects a lot of tires. We go to the market, we go to fleets, we capture product performance. I mean, we will need a solution tomorrow where a vehicle comes to my zone, CV zone, Apollo CV zone, and automatically we're able to capture the tread pattern, capture the quality, the performance of the tire, the wear pattern, the look and feel, and IP, all of that, the alignment, the balancing, everything gets captured in such a fashion that instead of needing one engineer and two engineers, I just need one. Plus, instead of needing 8 hours, I just need an hour. So I've been able to uh, process my data such that we are able to have insights for improvements and for new products and for process re-engineering if required, and also be able to deliver a superior experience to our customer. And when it comes to a puncture, the last thing the customer wants is to do gupshup. What he wants us to do is as soon as he comes, we repair it and he moves on. The last thing he wants to do is spend a lot of time at the tire shop. So that
Exactly.
those
And
that's where I see it playing a huge role.
exactly, and that's where I think apart from AI and ML, accompanying that, phygital would come into picture as well, because if a customer has they're using the digital technology a lot, right? And instead of coming to the workshop to analyze all those situations, if he can use his phone only, and through AI, the AI tells him that your tire. You need to change your tires now. It's all wear and tear has happened, and if that is done, he'll just have to come to the workshop, get it changed, and done, right? So he will not spend much time there as well.
I agree with you, and I think OEs are doing a lot of work there because the whole concept of smart tires, along with our R&D, we're trying to see how we can make a tire far smarter, far intelligent, both for at the commercial vehicle end, because for him it's the third largest, is the third highest cost line, and with increase in diesel prices, he's looking to. And my sense is that all of these digital technologies will really come into this space once we move from once the market moves from capex buying to the opex buying. Once the tire becomes service, the servitization of a tire when it happens, that's when you will need a lot of this, CPK, the cost per kilometer, all of these concepts, the leasing of, basically how do we remove the capex from a customer's
And
and move it to OpEx so that his P&L is strong, his balance sheet is strong. That's when AL will play a huge role, or the entire digital will play a huge role. My sense is another 5 6 years that should happen.
hmm, yeah, basically replacing the product with the service, and that's how it
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
play more role in that. Right, and the next piece is also around technology. So cloud, right? Cloud is a buzzword also, and many of the organizations have already moved to cloud as well from their technological footprint perspective. What about Apollo Tires? Are you on cloud, planning to move to cloud? Which stage are you in?
I think I think the IT teams are aggressively moving. For the last 1 year, I think we moved to cloud. In fact, my own team, for example, I'm also encouraging my team to make sure that they don't have any data on their laptops. As simple as that, and move their entire files and folders to cloud, because then it's available for the it enables mobility, and we need to be in the field. We need to be with the customer. It also enables agility in terms of reporting, because accessibility, reporting, all of that. And as an organization, also most of our digital products are now hosted on the cloud. Uh, so so I guess it's a hygiene now. Everybody's on cloud. So is Apollo Tires.
All right. And the last question is around the COVID situation, right? So, uh, I mean, you have mentioned about technological advancement and the use of digital channels as well, and providing your distributor network as well with those digital channels. So, do you think COVID has played a role in making that fast from an adaptability perspective, or was that prior to COVID also you were moving towards the cloud, digital technologies, and how has adoption of those technologies resulted in the current times?
Uh, COVID has only accelerated it. It was already there. I don't think there. This was something that I think the penny dropped when demonetization happened to a large extent. So, and after that, if you see the way our digital payments have really gone through the roof, I saw a dashboard where our digital, has moved far beyond China now. But from an Apollo Tyres perspective, COVID accelerated it because we had to be in touch with the market. What it did was uh, more than the organization Apollo Tyres per se. It was our dealer, this dealer network, which was refusing to get digital. I think that's where it really, for us, it accelerated, but adoption in terms of our market stakeholders, that was phenomenal. I think that really moved the needle quite a bit. So, so that was helpful.
Right. Thanks again, Mr. Chaku, for joining us today. That was my last question.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thank you, Madhuri.
Yeah. Back to you, Madhuri.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chaku, once again for sharing your thoughts and journey and some really wonderful insight for our viewers. And Saurabh, thank you so much for moderating the entire session once again. So,
My
thank
pleasure.